Hello and welcome to another update video about the NASDAQ. Last update is a bit more than a week old now, nearly a couple of weeks actually. I made the last update when we had this mini crash on the 5th of August into the 5th of August lows. I provided an update here on YouTube, and at the time we were watching for a B wave bounce. So now that we've arrived in the resistance area, which is defined between 19,553 and 20,178, I think it's time for an update because we've arrived at a key pivot. Okay, so the idea is two scenarios. So the, let's say, bearish scenario definitely allows for the interpretation that a really substantial, a very substantial top could have formed in July. But, and that's the same situation on the S&P 500 as well, which I'm analyzing on a daily basis in our S&P 500 and stock service. You'll find a link in the description if you're interested. It's the same situation. We had only a 3-wave move down. The fact that it's only a 3-wave move down, not a 5-wave move, technically keeps the door open for higher. The only way that really a bearish scenario could really unfold is through a series of ABC structures. For example, this A, B, C, yeah, could just be a larger A wave, and then we follow, and we could carry on with that. So this would just be a larger A wave and so on. But it would still turn into a large ABC structure. This larger support zone is, I don't want to say so relevant, it is relevant, but essentially in the white wave count, it will break, okay? And I just have to highlight again the risk here on the NASDAQ, on the S&P 500, it's the same thing. The risk is very high because we've completed the long-term upside impulse, or we are very close to completing it. We might see one more high, and obviously it's like taking it level by level, right? Because the 3-wave move down technically leaves the door open for higher. We don't know that yet. Do we get another high or not? I'm watching this resistance area now as we watch the support, and there was some micro support levels as well when we came down here. And I highlighted to you at least a B wave bounce is now due. That B wave bounce happened. We had an initial AB structure also with a micro support region. And now you can see that here, if I go to the 1-hour chart, it is currently a 3-wave rally, right? So we have an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. It's a 3-wave rally. Even with one more high, and one second, I just changed the wave degree here. Even with one more high, it is considered a 3-wave move. Why? Because a C wave to the upside is a 5-wave move. I can call it a wave 1, a wave 2, 3, 4, might get a 4, yeah, and then one more high in wave 5. So it could stretch a little higher into resistance. Actually, I would prefer further upside as long as we're holding 19,037 points. Okay, so it is possible, dialing or zooming into the micro here, that this 4th wave will develop next week, could turn into a triangle, could just get another leg down as an ABC structure. Yeah, it really depends on how next week opens. It is absolutely plausible to say maybe the 3rd wave topped in this C wave. We have an A wave down, a B wave, and now we do this maybe next week. Yeah. But one more high seems probable here. And this would then complete the B wave. Now, if after the B wave or after that rally is complete, we see another higher low, well, that can drive us to new all-time high territory. And it would simply be considered an extension of this long-term upside impulse. So essentially, the trend is up locally, isn't it? The trend is up. So that's what I'm following. I'm following the uptrend. I'm getting very cautious after one more high, not bearish until we break support. Also now, I'm not bearish until we break below 19,037. A break below that area or below that level would be a first indication that wave B has topped. But it takes a 5-wave move down, and that could be wave 1 of wave 1, for example, to give us further confirmation about that. And then that's how the structure builds. So essentially for next week, important 19,037 as key support, and to the upside 20,178 as the next Fibonacci retracement level, which is going to be quite crucial. as that's the 78.6 retracement. Don't make the mistake to think the B wave would be invalidated above it. B waves don't get invalidated as long as we have 3 waves up. It could simply extend, but I have to say above the 78.6 retracement, it will already get more probable that something more bullish is playing out here. So essentially there is no confirmed top until we break at least below 19,037. That's the update about the NASDAQ. Hope you enjoyed the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, feel free to check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.